So, what is going on, everyone? Episode one, first episode of my new podcast that I decided to start. The House is Burning. And I have the honor and the pleasure to sit down with Kansas City's own UFC welterweight, the Vanilla Gorilla himself, the man, the myth, the legend. What is going on, my brother? What's going on?
First off, I'm honored to be the first one. I mean, that's the first episode. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. No, go ahead.
It's life's going good, man. I'm on top of the world, So kind of just chilling right now, kind of enjoying life, which I've never done before. So I'm just kind of hanging out, enjoying myself.
Got you. So where did the nickname come from? Because I mean, not only is it original, like it's just dope as fuck. So like, where did that?
Yeah, man. So I was training one time. I was training with Jason High, and I just cut to 55. I fought at 55, and it was a terrible cut. Like I had no idea what to do. I did it way wrong. I was fucked afterwards. So my body just kind of blew up after that. I went from 155 to like 198 in a matter of like a month and a half, 2 months. And I was beefy. I was looking big. I still had like a six pack, but I was still I was a big boy. My coach Jason High was like, because I wasn't losing weight, and he was just giving me a lot of shit. He's like, "Man, you look like a vanilla gorilla," because I'm obviously athletic and I'm really strong. So like the vanilla gorilla, and everybody in the class started laughing at that. And it's just one of those things. You don't really pick your own nickname. You're just stuck with it. And I dig it. I enjoy it. So I ain't mad about it.
Yeah, nah. Like I said, it's one of those original, and it's original. Like I've never heard that. Like
we got a couple people fighting over it right now. Me and Chase Sherman are having. I said something about Chase Sherman in one of my interviews because his nickname's Vanilla Gorilla too, and he's a heavyweight. He's a big old boy.
Yeah.
So I called him out a little bit, like telling him that's my name. Like I'll fight him over it. Like that's the funny part. Like it's a fucking joke. Like obviously he's a heavyweight. Like we're not gonna fight over it, but it's that's just the way it is. Like he has a name, I have the name. It is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. That's dope. So, kind of, what was your like inspiration to get into mixed martial arts? Like, was it a family member? Was it just watching the UFC growing up, or just watching kickboxing growing up? What was kind of the inspiration for that?
So I never really watched the UFC. I remember like a long time ago in my uncle's house. He's like, "Man, we gotta watch these fights. They're banned. You're not supposed to be able to watch them." I'm like, "All right, cool." And obviously that was like UFC 1 or 2. I don't remember actually watching it, but man, I've always been competitive. Like I enjoy competing. I'm not like a violent person. I don't want to hurt people, but I enjoy competing versus one person. I like competing versus myself. Like I never enjoyed team sports. I like playing team sports. I'll play football and baseball alone. But I don't like the fact that if I'm doing 100%, you're playing 50%, we lose. I can blame that on you.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Fighting and stuff like that. Like single person sports really rely on yourself, and I think that's where the most growth and stuff like that comes from. So I really enjoy competing. My uncle used to be a professional kickboxer and boxer, and I kind of started training with him one day, and then met some neighbors of mine that were doing strength conditioning. They had an MMA gym that they went to, and they introduced me to that. And I took a fight probably 6 weeks after I started training, like an idiot.
Jeez.
I lost that fight, and at 21 years old, I'm like, there's nobody can beat me. There's no way. You don't know what you don't know. So I got submitted by a triangle. That shit sucked, and then I just kept pushing forward in training, and then I fell in love with training. I think that's really what kept me competitive in fighting. You know what I mean? Like even if you lose, but I fell in love with training. So even if I lose a fight, like it doesn't matter. Like I just want to be at training.
For sure. No, that's dope. I mean, that's I guess one thing that I can totally get with. Like I was a college athlete. I played college soccer. So definitely I think it was that competing against like people that were either on a higher level than you were, or even pushing people that were on a lower level, just being around that environment just every day, I think has the ability to really change you and make you fall in love with what you do for sure.
Absolutely. You need those people too, though. Like especially in mixed martial arts, you need people who are better than you. They're gonna whoop up on you every day and make you better. But you need somebody who's kind of even keel with you, that you have good days with, you have bad days with. You need people that you can kind of work your new stuff on and understand how to kind of get better at. So I mean, imagine that's in every sport. You got to have people in soccer who build you up. You're playing versus the top two guys in the world or whatever, you're gonna try and play harder. So you need that. It brings you new levels. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, KC, born and raised, right?
Yep, 100%.
So, we're not gonna get too So, KC barbecue. Where are you going to eat KC barbecue? See,
this shit starts fighting Kansas City. This stuff.
I know. Trust me, I know. I've lived in Kansas City for 6 years now, so I know.
I'm a Jack Stack guy. I like Jack Stack, but I believe that every place in Kansas City has something that like they're known for that makes them special. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, well, if you want burnt ends, you go here. If you want ribs, you go here. If you want baked beans, like Kansas City kind of has a little bit of special of everything. But my personal opinion, I'll go to Jack Stack. It's delicious every time. They're you don't got to drive very far to get to one. So I think I think Jack Stack's my place to go. What about you?
I had Jack Stack's the other night and I fell in love with the burnt ends. Cause I'm from New Jersey. So we're not big on barbecue. So once I moved here, all I heard was Kansas City has the best barbecue, whatever. And I'm like, all right, let me see what you're talking about. So in my opinion, again, people are going to hate me. I like Kansas City's sauce better than Texas, but I like the way that Texas tenderizes their meat better than Kansas City.
That's fair. I got a discussion with a lady on a plane from like Virginia or South Carolina or one of those places. And she was arguing with me how their barbecue is better and ours was just ketchup on stuff. And I'm like you're not known for your barbecue, so don't argue with no, don't. But she was like, no, this is way better. We have vinegar. And I'm like, I don't care. You're not gonna convince me. I will agree and disagree with you all day long on this subject.
Exactly. No, people get crazy about it for sure. So kind of what was your process getting from, fighting in Kansas City, fighting in the KC Fighting Alliance, winning, welterweight gold. And then what was your process to get into the UFC?
And it was a long road. It really was. There were so many times that I thought this is the fight. This was going to put me in the UFC. I'm going to get that phone call. But I had a long road. I really did. I've been around this game for a while now. I took the hard way to get there. So I'd go through a 5-fight win streak and I'd knock on the UFC's door and then I'd lose a fight. And then I go on a 3-fight win streak and I'd lose a fight. And you know what I mean? So I took the long road to get here, I was fighting and when I look back at it, I really appreciate the fact that I was in the UFC because I was ready by then. You know what I mean? I don't think that in the experience that I have now going into the UFC. And I think I just would have probably got one fight in and I'd be done or something like that. So I believe everything happens for a reason. But yeah, man, we went from FAC, welterweight champion. And then I got that 48-hour phone call to fight in the UFC. But it's a long road, man. I've had a lot of ups and downs, which is one reason my last post about the fights was it says to the highs of highs. Because that was the quintessential of my MMA career at that time. That was best case scenario. That's what you dream about. That's, you know what I mean? Not the fight particularly, especially the third round, but
yeah, I was gonna say we'll talk about that.
Not that part. No, but that, you know what I mean? That transition really was the top notch of my MMA career.
Gotcha. No, for sure. I always think it's interesting when you start to see fighters and you really talk to them about their stories and about coming up. Because a lot of these, perfect example would, obviously talk about Connor being a plumber, whatever, and then being able to get his opportunity. And, guys like you, I commend you because you guys are real life gladiators. A lot of people don't understand the technical side behind it and the training every day for one person, working on feints and traps. So a lot of people don't understand. They just think you're going out there and fighting. And I got to commend you guys because it is way more technical than people could ever imagine.
Yeah, 100%. Fighting is not human chess. Jiu-jitsu is human chess, but fighting just adds another element to it. I had a buddy of mine who just started jiu-jitsu. I've known him for 3 or 4 years, and I've tried to get him in jiu-jitsu for so long. And he finally took a class after his son started doing it, and he's like, I know nothing. I have no idea. And there's so many levels to the sport. There's so much intricacies and margin of error that it's not like any other sport.
Exactly, for sure. So, like, even to build on that about your journey, like, what advice would you have for somebody who's starting off in the original scene and trying to get to the UFC?
Yeah, it's man, it's about the gym you find and the people that are going to motivate you. And um, I believe in a couple of things. You got to find your why. Like, why do you want to do this? You know what I mean? Like you could say, oh, I want to train, I want to do this, but there has to be, like, you have to understand when things are going to get hard. This game is not easy. You're going to lose. You're going to be the nail quite a few times. So you got to understand, like, one, find your why you want to do this. Two, surround yourself with people that will like motivate you, regardless if you want to be motivated or not. Like, they're like, hey, why are you not in the gym today? Like, why are you doing this? You know what I mean? And then, like, just surround yourself with people like good coaches, good team. And I think those two things right there are really kind of just third, I guess, stay consistent, man. Like, just be in the gym. It doesn't matter. Like, if you don't leave the gym, you stop going to the gym, you're gonna get better no matter what. Like, you do anything for 10 years. It doesn't matter whether it's martial arts, whether it's crocheting, whether it's underwater basket weaving. I'm gonna go fuck. You're gonna be good at it 10 years down the road, no matter what, and it's gonna suck. But nights like beating Bryan Barberena are worth those 10 years, 13 years of this shit sucks. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. But you just have to understand that stuff. So find your why, surround yourself in a good gym, and just stay consistent. That's really like the keys to success on pretty much anything in life, I believe.
You're totally right. I think that's the biggest thing, especially, like, I guess from my side now, being in content, like, you got to stay consistent because, like, if people get bored quick. So, like, if you're not consistent and you're really not making quality shit, then people are like, man, I can go listen to this person who don't is not doesn't make this shit that you make as good as you make, but they're consistent. They're putting shit out every week and they're fun to listen to.
Yeah,
So
I mean, entertainment's hard too. Like, you got TikTok videos that are like in 8 seconds. Like, you got 8 seconds to pull somebody's attention. And if you don't, I mean, that's so yeah. So that has to be hard to do too. I don't think it's hard. You gotta be like all the new stuff, everything that pops up, like, so.
Exactly. But you did talk about the fight, so that is the perfect segue. Because
Right.
what a fucking fight. I can't imagine.
Watch it again.
Really? So like, going into, like, I didn't know what I expected going into this fight, but it was a war. Oh, I mean, I'm sure.
Man, I honestly thought round 3 was gonna be the whole fight. Like, that's how I envisioned it. Like, I was like, round 3 will be the entire fight. That's what I thought. So going in and being able to take him down so easily, that, like, because we go in my gym, we all know the system. We all know what we go through, what goes here, where goes where. You know what I mean? Our options are calculated, like, every time. So everybody in my gym knows exactly what I'm gonna do. And so I'm like, this shit don't fucking work anymore. Like, I'm just gonna quit doing it. And then you get in the cage with somebody who has no idea what you're doing, and it works easily. Like, that definitely brings a little confidence up. So I thought round 3 was gonna be the entire fight, but the fact that I could actually strike with Barberena and take him down, I would say pretty. I don't want to, like, brag, but I think pretty easily. I mean, I had 8 takedowns, so.
Yeah, no, it was pretty easy, and, like, you were piecing them on the feet. So I was just like, like you said, I did have it 1-1 going into the third round, and I was just like, all right, let's see what's gonna go on, because like I said, I just moved.
I'm going to the third round. How'd you have 1-1?
I mean, listen, I'm
just asking. How'd you have 1-1? Give me the concept.
So I think you took the first easily. I think first, in my opinion, you had 10-8 first.
Okay.
And I felt like the second was just really close, and I just kind of edged it to him because of the fact that I gave him that idea that he did begin to fight back, because you were dominating the fight at that point.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll edge him this round, but then the third round, I was like, Vanillo's gonna take over. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, Kansas City Bears 6 years. Anything Kansas City, I'm all for.
Okay, I'm gonna argue with you. I'm gonna give you round 2. I would have given myself a 10-8 round in that round. Not round 1. Round 1 was I dominated, but it wasn't like round 2. I took him down twice, held him down for quite a bit of time. I dropped him twice in that round too.
You did.
He didn't drop me at all. Took him down twice. I controlled the octagon most of the time. So I think round 2, if anything, I had a 10-8 round that round because I dropped him twice and took him down. Now round 3, he got that round back. Fuck him. He got that round.
I was like, oh.
Look at round 3. I dropped him twice too. I dropped him with a headbutt, which that's his fault, not mine.
Exactly.
Right. So I mean, yeah, he won that round. I'll give it to him. But I mean, I took him down twice. I still dropped him twice. So I don't know, man.
I mean, listen. Listen. That's why I am not a judge. That's exactly why I'm not licensed by Las Vegas.
I'm cool with that. Like, I like having a debate. Like, that's why I'm like, hey, man, why do you feel this way?
Yeah, but I definitely felt like I said, it is what it is. But since I only got you for a couple more minutes, we're gonna do quick fire. So, walkout song. Do you stick with the same song, or are you changing it depending on your mood?
So I used to stick with the same song. Like I'd have the same song for like 7 fights in a row, and then I'd probably change it. And then like right now, I'm all about mood, right? And I walked up the Cole Williams song to 50 Cent's Hustler's Ambition, and it just felt. I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning for my classes and stuff like that. And one Friday morning or one morning, I don't know what it was. That song came on and I was tired and I was like, fuck, man, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do this. Like, this is 4 a.m. It's too damn early. And that song came on and I was like, shit, I'm ready to go. Let's play that song. Then I won that fight. And I'm like, man, that song just felt good walking out to. So I put it on again, and I don't want to say it's coincidence because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in like superstition stuff like that, but I won the fight again. So might be the walkout song. No, it's really based on mood, man. It's really, what I'm feeling. Like I've walked out to reggae before just because that's what I was feeling at the time, a little revolution or something like that. So.
All right, yeah, all right. I like the reggae. Keep up with the reggae. I'm gonna be excited.
I'm all over that spectrum, man. Like I will go from Guns N' Roses, because I grew up with like parents through like Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue. Like that's what I grew up with. So I'm all about like hair bands, but I can go back to like Tupac and Biggie. I can go to, I like Meek Mill. I can go fucking
the range.
I go to country everywhere, man. I'm all over it.
I love it. So, what is your ultimate goal or your purpose that you expect to get out of fighting in the UFC, just fighting in general? Like, what is that goal that you have at the top of the mountain?
That goal obviously changes, quite a bit. Like the goal was just to get the UFC, and I always wanted a successful career in the UFC. And then I started talking to James Cross one day. He's like, well, like, what are you gonna do now? Like, what's the, I still had like 3 fights left or whatever. And I was like, well, I'd like to win those 3 fights. I'd like to get ranked, at some point. And then I lost the last Simmelsberger fight. But right now I'm getting a new 4-fight contract. So I'm really I kind of got to sit down. It's a great question because I haven't evaluated that. I haven't looked at kind of what my goal is now. Like I'm not a Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson will be a UFC champion one day. And that's, he always says like, it's that or nothing. Like it's that or this is worthless. That wasn't always one of my goals, but I think, moving up the ranks and talking to people and being able to beat some good names guys is really kind of where I'd like to be. I'm going to sit down and evaluate that a little more, but that's kind of where my end game is now. Just taking it 1 fight at a time.
Got you. So last question, and I think, in my opinion, the most important one, because I'm interested to see what you're going to say. Who is your dream matchup? Any weight class, doesn't matter. Who would you want to step in the ring? Octagon. It doesn't matter. We can do boxing. It doesn't matter. Who would you want to step in combat against?
That's a good question. George St. Pierre. I've idolized George St. Pierre my entire career. We didn't have like similar upbringings, but like I didn't wrestle in college or basketball or high school or anything of that stuff. You know what I mean? So like neither did he. We were both just born just kind of athletic, and wrestling just kind of came natural to us. Like I didn't wrestle in high school. I didn't wrestle in college. I just started wrestling when I started doing MMA. And I kind of always I looked at his strength conditioning program. I watched all his videos, and like I idolized the way the man brought his mindset to the game and kind of changed the game a little bit, because he really did. You know what I mean? Like he evolved the game so much. Like watch the first Matt Hughes fight to the third Matt Hughes fight. Like Matt Hughes didn't evolve at all. His striking didn't evolve. GSP was a better wrestler by the third fight. So it's like I always liked the way he fights, and I always idolized his career. And I think that'd be a fun, hard. Like I don't think I'd win that fight, but I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm totally with it. So I appreciate you. This has been dope.
Of
The
course, man.
gym, listen, I live around the corner from the gym. Listen, you might have to train me up. I'm not trying to be a UFC fighter now,
Ask you,
but
just come in, working. Just some.
listen, don't listen. Just let me know when, and I will pull up. I live around the corner, bro, from Glory. Like you don't understand, like around the corner.
Place. You gotta talk to James Cross about that one. You gotta talk to Cross. Hey, you want to text James Cross?
We'll figure something out. I think it'd be dope to do a video, especially like I think just showing off some of your skills and like just doing some fun stuff, So
Me being stupid.
yeah, and I'm with it, and I'll endorse it. I'll be with it. Listen, if you want to put me in a triangle, just don't put me to sleep, and we're good to go.
You got it.
All right, so I appreciate you being here. Like again, check this man out. He's about to sign this new contract. I'm telling you, I promise you, by the end of 2022, this man will be ranked in the top 15. I promise you.
Let's fucking go.
He is a fucking GOAT. He works hard as fuck. Dope ass personality. Just fun to be around. The Vanilla Gorilla, Jason Witt. I appreciate you, brother. Nothing but love.
Thank you, man.
So see you guys next time and stay blessed.